Okay, so let's get into number 8 of the major arcana, which is the strength card. Now, this card can also be seen attached to the number 11 in other decks. And so I chose to make a close observation before deciding which I felt resonated most with me, and I chose the number 8. Reason being, the number 11 in numerology does represent mastery of emotions. At the same time, because it's so sensitive and intuitive, the approach can be very heady. And what could happen there is it lacks the bottom half that the 8 actually possesses, which is more materialistic and more tangible, more physical. So the thoughts can get scattered and the emotions as well when dealing with the number 11. There could be some type of doubts at hand because of that. Now, when it comes to the number 8, however, the number 8 deals more with the balancing of life to where it's the spiritual and the physical. And the determination to actually conquer oneself in a type of way that is internal initially and then becomes external, especially when it comes to the obstacles and situations that you're faced with in life that you've overcome. This is how you develop strength. So that's, as far as the numbers go, that's what I've come up with. Now, the color in the background is obviously yellow, bright yellow, and there's a lot of it. That's a representation of positivity, of confidence, creativity, also, confidence, if I didn't say that already, excuse me. So, not only that, but yellow could be associated with the sun, associated with Leo, and there's a lion that's in this picture, so you can connect the dots there as well. I've connected the dots there. And so it's like when looking at this card, right, there is a woman who is bending over and she's basically taming the lion. To me, this is a depiction of not wrestling, although some may see it as that way. To me, this is more of a gentle touch and it's more of an embracing of the internal animal instinct. So this is even more why it's associated with the number 8 to me, because you can just imagine yourself in situations where your animal instinct has got the best of you to where you become like an animal in a jungle. And of course, the lion is the king of the jungle. And this is a Leo card, by the way, naturally. And it's also attached to the I Can chakra, the plexus chakra, the solar plexus chakra. I believe all of these symbols resonate with this card. And so sometimes in life, because of the things we see, because the lights are turned on, you see the sun color bright. This is the ruler of the sun. So sometimes based upon what we see, we therefore act. And when we're talking about our ego and stuff like that, which is also ruled by Leo, the lion, the sun, then we can allow ourselves to get in some types of jams that can be consequential to where they become a detriment to our well-being. That's not to say that we shouldn't have a healthy ego, though. And I think that's what overall this card is representing: someone having a healthy ego because they are aware of their animal instinct and how that behavior can either go right or left, wrong or right for them through experience. And only with experience has this individual been able to conquer the inner demons, so to speak, and tame that animal nature in a way that they develop a healthy ego. Because a ego is not something that we should be without. The ego is going to represent your individuality and your strength and your courage, your bravery, even your compassion, because you know how it feels to be in certain spots that can make you feel vulnerable or make you feel weak until you address them in some type of way or avoid them in some type of way, just so you can apply that energy into another drive in your life that will end up being more successful. You know what I mean? But this is about having control. This is about having focus. This is about being persuasive in your focus, because you not only can talk the talk, you can walk the walk. Therefore, this exudes influence. All of these characteristics are associated with the sun and Leo and things of that nature. So it goes back to the number 8 because of that, because the number 8, of course, rules over the 8th house. You could look at it like that as well, to where Scorpio energy is applied. But not to distort this, but we can use those characteristics of the sign of being a feminine sign with a masculine ruler over it. Therefore, you see the woman is actually the feminine touch that's being applied to the animal instinct of an individual, to where there's an understanding between the two. That's what you can see when seeing this woman gently embrace this lion, is the divine feminine and the divine masculine being in tune with each other and having control, able to tame oneself's behaviors and one's emotions, right? So now, when we think about it as well, when this card is drawn and it's in reverse, well, first of all, when it's upright, it's pretty much saying that the individual is embracing this animal instinct and telling oneself that it's time to do the damn thing, to be pretty frank with it. Because you've come through many trials and tribulations before that you came out of, and because of that, you now have living proof that you have the inner strength and the courage to overcome any other obstacle that's in your way. So you know how you could reflect on your life and you could remember times that you were in some tight situations and you was like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. And then it happened, you got out of it. That's what this card is, to put it in a nutshell. And you're able to reconcile with those differences within yourself, those internalizations that helped you come through those things, because you had to dig down deep and take some type of action in order to reinforce your initial judgments. And you can rely on yourself, your inner self, to protect you and to take care of you when trials and tribulations appear. It means that your inner self is in harmony with your outer needs as well, because the 8 represents abundance in numerology as well, and power. So in order to do that, or in order to obtain abundance, that's something that's materialistic. That's something that's outside of yourself. And you got to realize that you got to dig deep inside of yourself in order to manifest those things into existence and bring them into fruition. And if your logical mind is in conflict with your intuition, your courage, your inner courage, then it's going to be challenging to make those decisions that you need that are going to be right for you. So the decisions that you make when this card is drawn and it's upright is going to be successful for you. Now, when reversed, it means that you're struggling to gain your own independence. You're struggling to defeat skepticism. You may feel vulnerable, and you can notice that your animal instinct is kicking into high gear, and you need to pay attention to that. But it's something that needs to be developed for your own self. You might be under the jurisdiction of somebody else, you know what I mean? And it's just like they're influencing you in some type of way, and you need to separate from that. You need to depart from that, think for yourself and move for yourself. And it could seem and appear like people are looking at you in a way that is out of line, insubordinate, not the norm, sort of crazy, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter. This is something that you need to do for yourself regardless, you know what I mean? And it's your instincts kicking in, because it's a survival mechanism that's been keeping you in your DNA line alive and well for years. So obey it.